Welcome, episode 2 of the Cringeworthy podcast. I'm your host, Kaleena. And if you remember episode 1, you know who I am. If you don't, I am a stand-up comedian. I am a podcast host. I am a writer. I'm a creator. I'm a producer. I do a lot of shit on top of that. And so you're really going to enjoy what we have here for you today on this show. We got our very special guest, Dylan Siegfried. Now, I didn't know Dylan at all before we did this episode. He just hit me up on Facebook. I got some good stories. I was like, dope, let's do this. And he didn't lie. He did not fucking lie. Like, if you thought episode 1 was good, just wait. Just fucking wait. We're setting the bar. We're keeping it high, and it's going to keep growing. So thank you for sticking with us. Let me see. A little bit about Dylan. He is an improver. He does have his own podcast. It's called Implodium. Start looking for it. It's a debate podcast about shit like, is a hot dog a sandwich? No, it is not. We go into that in this show, okay? And if you want to look at, like, so far Twitter is the best way, it seems like, to get more info on the show, at MD_debate. That's how you're going to hear about Implodium. As far as we go to iTunes, okay? Look for us, subscribe to us, but most importantly, rate us 5 stars and then leave us a comment. Leave me something good. Leave me something fascinating. Maybe I'll read it on the show. Maybe I'll just go ahead and throw you in here as well with us. I would love to do that. So follow us, subscribe to us, and listen to episode 2, Cringeworthy Podcast with Dylan Siegfried. Thank you so much. Hey, I'm so excited. This is episode 2 of Cringeworthy, the Cringeworthy podcast, with our special guest, Dylan Siegfried.
I'm only 2 specials. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
It's good to be here, though.
That was only 2? I thought that was 3. I feel like you were 3 specials.
No, I feel like a 2 today.
Specials. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a rough night.
Yeah, not me. I went to see the Queen movie, so I'm on fucking Cloud 10.
Oh, well, good for... I've never been to Cloud 10. I can't get in for shit.
Only Freddie can take me there. That's what's weird.
Oh my God.
I'm so gay,
Too
but Freddie
soon?
he got me there. Yeah, it's like, all right, baby, I'm on Cloud 10.
Yeah, he's just like, anybody can get in.
He was such a beautiful man. Oh, only the good die young of AIDS. So sad.
Oh my God.
Well,
But it is true, though. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of any other young people who died. I'm sure there's a few.
I can think of some terrible people who've died old from AIDS.
Yeah. And what the fuck is that? I'm so sick of old people, like bad old people. Like, I really can't. Oh, you know what? Here's the thing. If God existed, that's a huge thing I have against it. It's like, listen, you're letting these fuckers stay way too long. It doesn't make sense. Like, I feel like you're a little sadistic. And maybe there is no God. Maybe it's just the devil all the time.
So just to be clear, if he exists, God is your biggest problem with AIDS.
Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Didn't have to
Totally on
happen.
the same page.
We didn't need it. We did not need this.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
We have plenty.
GOD.
Yeah. It's like,
thanks for the AIDS,
perfect
man.
DJ name. Thank you so much. Not taking out the right people, but hey, we all make mistakes.
You got to put a hit on somebody, I guess. He's got to keep the business going.
Right.
Of Earth.
I don't know. After a while, I'm like, man, you could give up. I feel like you should scrap this project and maybe start over again. Like he tried it with the flood, apparently. Like, all right, I'm going to flood the earth, and then they'll get it. Like, no, we won't.
Yeah, we've been getting a ton of hurricanes, and we just keep being like, there's no hurricane. Don't run anywhere.
You made us in your image, and you're one cocky motherfucker. How'd you think this was going to work?
Yeah, it's like,
damn.
It's like you have an ant farm, and the ant farm is fighting back.
Yes.
And you're just like, hold on, this was just supposed to be a science project. And the ant farm's like, no, man, you made life. Now you got to deal with this. Like, essentially what an unexpected child does to a parent.
And then you go, well, here's some bleach, bitch. How do you feel about that? That's right. Bleach kills ants. Don't know if you knew that. I learned that a long time ago.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Interesting, the household products that can kill insects.
When I was a kid, I had a friend who lived close to our school, so I would go to her grandma's house with her. And one day, we were swinging our little brother around in the yard, as you do with tiny siblings. And
I got the picture in my mind.
And he was like, let me go. And I was like, okay, because I'm a people pleaser. And I let him go. And he fell onto a fire anthill. And he was like, all of a sudden, he gets up like, blah, like screaming, running. And we're like, oh, God. So her grandma just comes out with this bottle of bleach. And she's like, fuck. And they just all, and I was like, all right, bleach it is.
Oh, man. Grandma coming out, fuck
you, motherfuckers.
Bleach. That's all my time. Now go run to the store and get me a new one.
I also grew up in the country. We did a lot of weird shit.
So all the grandmas sounded like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. They're like, go get me more bleach.
But yeah, that was all God's fault. He said, let him go. God made gravity. God made the fire ants. It's it's like God's okay sometimes if he's there.
I think we're all God.
Other times he makes fire ants. And that's just a good lesson for life.
Well, that's why I think we're all God. That's just has to be it because we're all pieces of shit in a sense.
If
Not everybody. I'm sure you're a good person out there, loving life. Anyway, so Dylan has his own podcast he is starting. Won't you tell us a little bit about this show that you do, Dylan?
It'd be my pleasure. Me and my friend Maha, we argue all the time about pretty nonsense topics, which we think the world needs more of because we're arguing about a lot of real topics. And I just want to find out if a hot dog is a sandwich or not.
And it's not.
Exactly.
Totally
It's not. You hear that, Oscar Mayer? Sponsor this show.
It's not a sandwich. You don't put something in between a bun. A bun is technically made of bread. True. However,
it's technically and literally made of bread.
Two pieces of bread. You didn't separate them. Now, if you separate them, maybe slice the hot dog in half, fry it a little bit, maybe put a little, like some lettuce, we'll talk. But until that's the norm, Oscar, don't fuck with us.
You absolutely get the concept of the show then. You're totally with it.
I totally understand.
But yeah, I'm also totally against Oscar, but still sponsor this.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I even think like calling a Philly cheesesteak a sandwich is borderlining because that shit's in a bun, but it's technically sandwich material.
Now,
like you got your beef.
Now, I lived in Philly for 7 years, and some people they have some really strong viewpoints on the Philly cheesesteak, and their viewpoint is that nobody outside of Philadelphia really gets to make a judgment call on Philly cheesesteaks.
That's fucking fair, though. I mean, that's almost like the same. To me, it's like the cultural appropriation idea. Like, people are like, we make a cheesesteak in Chicago. Like, you make a type of sandwich that originated in Philadelphia. You culturally appropriating motherfuckers.
Exactly. It's not a Philly cheesesteak. It's just a steak with cheese.
Yeah.
Philly cheesesteaks are not sandwich-like. They're a mess, and they're amazing.
Yes.
I love them.
Also constitute a sandwich. I mean, your corned beefs, they're... A fucking hot dog's not a sandwich. That's the real point of this.
Yeah, we have a moderator on the show too because we very often get off topic because the things can get so heated. But at least they're not about like politics. They're just silly stuff. And we have a Twitter. It's @MD_debate. Our show name is Implodium, and we take ideas all the time for debates and arguments, as long as they just don't matter too much. That's the only requirement.
Awesome. And we will plug it too. We'll ask you at the end of the show so we remind people where they can send like all this stuff to. So,
yeah, you got it.
For sure.
Ideally, when people start listening to this one day, they'll be able to vote on who wins the debates, and then the loser will have some sort of punishment, like drinking sardine juice or
you should
wearing
make him
someone
shoot
else's
Malort
underwear,
like we do.
I feel like someone else is already doing that.
Yeah, that would be a little.
I don't want to be unoriginal,
cliche, but
maybe we could do like whiskey or like res.
Whiskey's
you know
fine.
what's really bad? Banana vodka.
I can't do vodka. Period. Vodka is like So I went to a party on Halloween, and I hadn't drank vodka in a really long time. And I had some, and I had one of my buzzy blackout almost moments. So I think we can talk about that. I smoke marijuana. So
wait a second.
I know, and nobody believes me. They're like, you what?
All right, whatever. I'll go along with it.
I'm high now. I'm really not, actually.
Sure.
Not today. But I started drinking vodka, and I was like, well, I don't feel good. Let me smoke some weed. And then I was like, oh, I might black out. So I blame the vodka, though, not the weed. Weed never does that to anybody.
Right.
Weed's really good.
Yeah, you were what the kids are calling crossfaded. Heard that term.
I was cool too then. Yeah. I was.
Well, you didn't use the term, so.
Well, now I will. I got faded. That's always been like, I never understood that. People are like, I drink this shit that makes me want to fall asleep. And then I party all night. What kind of constitution do you have? And how do I it's a push through, because like literally I had to push through it. I was like, nope, not going to back out. I'm just going to sweat profusely. I'm just going to be really hot and feel like I'm going to vomit, but I am certainly going to pull through this. I'm going to pass out for 5 minutes. I'm going to wake up. Let's do this shit again, motherfucker.
Yeah, and people go for that. Like, that's people's goal. They're like, I was just talking to someone who was like, the other day I went out and I set a goal for the night because I feel like I don't set enough goals for myself. And my goal is to get drunk enough to not remember something.
What?
And I'm just like, okay.
Or goal is to wake up and call a therapist. It sounds like that might work a little bit.
My girlfriend is great at setting goals.
Yes. All right. So we kind of segued nicely into this already. We open. So Dylan's got some stories for us, right?
For sure.
Oh, and they have to do with male Catholic schools, which I've never went to Catholic school, knew plenty of people who did. So I'm intrigued. I love the inside view from the outside, like just to imagine what y'all really went through. Because you went there. How long did you go? Was it like
the regular school amount of time?
Was it K through 12?
It was high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 4 years.
4 years of all dudes in oof, man.
Hey, my German teacher was a woman.
Hey, all right, cool.
And then she got sick and it was replaced by a man.
Oh, well, as God
She was replaced by I'm sorry for calling her an it.
It was replaced as God intended.
Right.
So I want to get in the stories because that's what I am here for. I like the stories.
That's honestly what I'm here for too. At least that's what we said on Facebook.
Yeah. And like getting to know you. Okay, great. The story, just like a date. Yeah, let's get to know each other and then have sex. But we're not going to do that here. We're going to just drink Malort and we're going to listen to these really fucking weird stories, cringeworthy, gross, disgusting,
sometimes
nasty,
all 3, 4.
Sometimes all of it together. I mean, a lot like sex. And then we'll get into the story.
This is great. You've really like broken down the whole like sex interaction to its base units. Like we're going to get to know each other a minimal amount.
Yes.
We're going to drink a bit.
Yeah.
To just loosen up. And then we're just going to really open up to each other. Just not like physically. We're going to skip the whole like physical portion of it and jump to afterwards where we kind of feel a little bad about it.
Yeah, exactly. As a good sex story goes.
Yeah,
that's how
exactly.
I met my wife. I'm not married. Ugh. Anyway, so we start with Malort. Now, as I've prefaced this before, Malort is just, it's awful. If you know what it is, it's just awful. Dylan's only had it once, he said.
I don't
when
really
he
remember.
was drunk. So
I don't really
remember.
Because when I had it, I was out with a friend and we were going out to a bar and I was just like, talking, just like being myself. And they're just like, wait, have you ever had Malort before? I'm just like, no. They're like, we're getting some shots of Malort. And I took it and I don't really remember what it tasted like, but I do remember retching.
Oh, yeah.
Like one of the...
That's about right. That's about right.
Okay.
Yes.
And I need a shot of something else.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. I don't know if I said this. I try to wait as long as possible before I take my water or I have coffee as well. Just to let it sit for a minute because you want to get that real experience of the nasty, putrid, horrific afterthoughts that is Malort. Oh my God, just like after sex.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I was on the same page, but I was going to let you finish your picture that you were painting.
Yay. So Malort is like first date sex. Basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Sponsor us.
Yes, please. Yes, please sponsor Malort. We're going to keep on it. So, okay. Producer Aaron, he has his shot. Yep. Oh, guys, let's just do it. Fuck this.
Here we go.
Here we go. Tap it down. It's never good.
You know.
And it never gets better. Oh, there it is. God. Yeah, let it set for a second.
Oh, God. I've never drank. My God.
Better.
It's hard to try and be funny when you're about to throw up.
Yeah.
So I've never drank nail polish remover.
And it doesn't leave. It just keeps going worse.
It tastes like I drank nail polish remover.
Oh, God.
Like has anybody ever thrown up on the show?
Not yet. It's only the second episode if you want to be the first.
And you do these every day?
Oh, hell no. Oh, no. I like myself more than that. No. Going to start doing about 2 a week, maybe. So maybe I don't like myself so much.
I'm so sorry.
I am also starting therapy, so it's probably going to help. Okay.
You're going to have a lot to process. Do you feel like you have a problem with alcohol? No, I'm making a profit.
Yeah. No, I'm doing it to myself. Oh. Okay. All right, let's try to work past it. Okay. And it just doesn't go away.
I'm trying to think of more that it tastes like, but I think nail polish remover is the closest that you can get. So if you're at home and listening and trying to imagine what we're experiencing.
Don't drink nail polish remover. Yeah, it's probably going to kill you, but so will this baby. So,
you could like sniff it and drink some water and you might get the same experience.
When I walked in after pouring the shots, I was like, oh no. Oh, that's the smell. There it is. Yeah.
It's like kind of washed up the room. It just
sets in the back of your throat.
It's in the sound mufflers.
I feel like labor would be easier, but I never had a baby and I will never have a baby.
I mean, you could like compare the two. They have those like shock things that you could put on your lower stomach to make it feel.
I love those guys. What are those guys? The Try Guys?
Yeah.
I watched. I was like,
try stuff. What a concept. Who would have thought?
Yeah. I mean, I have like really bad stomach issues. So sometimes I get cramps that like make me like almost pass out. So I'm like, I feel like that, but I wouldn't want to go through 13 hours of it. See, it's still there, isn't it?
I got a new stage of this.
Yes.
I want to brush my teeth with 5 toothbrushes at once.
It's in the back of your tongue, and it's just like, let me hang out here. Isn't this where the bitter goes?
It's specifically in the back of my tongue.
Like, can't I swallow this down my throat? Leave my mouth. Leave my mouth.
They say on the bottle, it has the flavor of an unusual botanical. They're straight up. They're like, it's unusual.
It's wormwood.
It's like that.
I think we talked about that in the first one. It's fucking wormwood.
Wormwood. You named it after worms. Great.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten worms in weeks.
I have never eaten. See, and I have to hold my nose shut. Like
when you eat worms?
No, like when I drink this. No, those are fine. Okay. I love worms.
They're slippery. They work.
They just slide right down.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't leave this terrible bitter taste in the back of your throat.
Because it's like their own casing. It's like a long pill.
Right. With that little wedge or like the little
like a turtleneck.
I know you're down now.
Like the worm turtleneck.
Gross. All right. Speaking of gross, Dylan, let's get into what do you got? What do we got?
All right. I was trying to debate like where to start.
All right.
All right. So I recently went to Florida.
Okay.
With my girlfriend, and we got there at about, I want to say 10 at night. This is the time we got into Orlando, and we get to our hotel and we're both just like, gosh, we're so hungry, and everything is closed except for one place, which is a little far away, but we took an Uber, and it was Steak and Shake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So we went to Steak and Shake.
We're going to start with the Steak and Shake. All right, let's start with the Steak and Shake.
There's actually, I named this.
He did not go to Catholic high school at Steak and Shake, but we do have a Steak and Shake story. Okay.
True. I'll get into the Catholic high school ones.
No, fuck yeah, man. Let's start where the fuck we want to start.
But I think Steak and Shake is a real good way to start with a bang. And,
all right. Okay. Set us up for success.
That's not foreshadowing. You just spoke like you knew where. Oh, I know where this story's going. It starts with a bang. You have no idea.
Yeah.
So there's actually a name for this story, and I call it Steak and a Handshake 2 Bits. You'll find out why. So there's a Steak and Shake kind of far away, and Kristen goes, do you want... Kristen is my girlfriend. She's going to make an appearance in this story a couple times.
Hello, Kristen. Thanks for doing the show.
She is asleep right now.
Oh, sweetheart.
So she's like, have you ever been to Steak and Shake, Dylan? I'm like, you know what? I've never been there. I've heard about it a bunch because of the rhyming name.
Wait, how long ago was this?
This was a few months ago.
You've never been to Steak and Shake?
I'll leave. I'll go.
Yeah. No, you know what, guys? Episode canceled. What the fuck? You never been to Steak and Shake? Where are you from?
I'm from New York originally.
Y'all don't do that, huh?
Yeah, Long Island. That
makes sense.
We either didn't have Steak and Shakes or didn't have a lot of them, or I was just like a sheltered person.
Isn't Long Island like uppity?
Oh, yeah. It's Gatsby
so
town.
Y'all didn't have any.
Yeah.
Y'all weren't our
like you think
Midwest
Great Gatsby,
country.
you think like West Egg.
Yeah.
If you've read the Gatsby novel, you've heard of it.
Yep.
Don't they make everyone read it? No.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I did in college.
It's like it doesn't have like a lot of lessons that I've used in my life, but I do reference it a lot because I'm from Long Island.
It is really not great to have like especially young girls read because it's like, oh, that man was a piece of shit.
Yep. And he died in a pool and he got shot in the butt.
Well, that's
spoilers. I'm sorry if you haven't read Great Gatsby. Jeez.
If you're listening to this and haven't read Great Gatsby or like been like I'm going to see the movie, then fuck you. No.
If you've listened to this and you haven't read Great Gatsby, you're probably under 13 and you shouldn't be listening to this anyway. Go to sleep.
I hope you take something good from this.
I don't care if it's 2 p.m. Go to sleep. You need your rest so you can grow and be a big human.
And sex is for grown people.
So we go to Steak and Shake. We call an Uber and we go to Steak and Shake and we sit down. And Steak and Shake has the environment of a restaurant that is trying to look like a 1960s restaurant, but kind of failed a little bit at it.
It's the diner. It's supposed to be the checkered diner.
Yeah, like I walk in and the grout on the floor tiles is like very dirty.
They were like, girls, will you wear roller skates? Like, fuck you. All right, that's fair. That's Steak and Shake.
Yeah, and we go in and we sit down, we get this waiter. It's really late, so it's really like the midnight shift of the Steak and Shake crew. And this waiter, Doug, walks up to us and he's like, hi, I'm Doug. I'm going to be your waiter. What do you have? And we're just like, water and a milkshake. And so we got water and a milkshake. This isn't the gross part yet, unless you really don't like milkshakes.
Unless, you're lactose intolerant, and then you're like, my tummy.
Yeah, so we make our order, and we're just kind of shooting the shit and being exhausted because we had just gotten off a plane. And we were planning on going to Disney World the next day. So we were amped up. We were waiting for the next few days and just kind of wanted a burger to get us by.
Sure.
While we're waiting for the food, I inevitably have to go to the bathroom, as you do. Again, not the gross part yet.
Okay.
I go to the bathroom, and as I come out of the bathroom, I run into Doug. And Doug stops me, and he says, hey, I'm Doug. I'm the guy who's waiting your table. I'm just
one guy who's serving you at midnight.
The one guy working at the restaurant. The one guy besides the cashier.
I'm also cooking your food. I'm also making your milkshake. I will be checking you out at the end of the night.
There was actually another guy working there. There was a total of, I think, 3 employees. There was Doug, a general kitchen staff guy, and the cashier.
Well, it's good to know they're fully staffed. You know?
Fully. All 3 of them were there.
All about customer service.
That's what you need for a restaurant near Disney World. 3 people.
Just 3. Yeah. Well, it's Steak and Shake. Literally, that's fine.
I didn't see a lot of shaking there, to be honest.
No, they don't. They play it up, and then you're like, come on, and then they do. Like,
so
don't
Doug
ask.
stops
just don't
me.
ask.
He like puts his hand up, and he's just like, hold on a second. He's like, I'm Doug. I'm your waiter. I'm going to be a minute. I'll be right back with your food. I just need to go change some gauze on my arm.
Oh, all right, Doug.
And
might not have needed to know that.
My first thought is, even if you have to change the gauze on your arm, why would you tell me that? Yeah. Tell me you have to go check a book out of the local library. Like, tell me you have to go take care of your sick grandmother.
Right.
Don't be honest with me. I want to be lied to when I'm in a restaurant and you're doing some gross stuff.
Did you just get shot? Do you need medical attention? Like, I feel like Bob back there can make our burger and serve it to us. If you need to go to the hospital, Doug, and if you don't have insurance, let's talk about this. What is going on with the country, Doug?
And he shows me.
That's just me.
He shows me his gauzed up arm.
No.
Yes.
Wait, just with the gauze on, right? Like to prove, like, see, I have some gauze.
Yeah, like he thought I would be like, there's no way you're actually changing gauze on your arm, Doug. There's no way. You're lying. Like that.
Okay,
I'm like,
Doug.
no, I believe you and I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's my feeling right now. So he shows it to me. And I mean, if you wanted some trivia, you could try and guess which arm was gauzed up.
Oh, here's the thing. I want to ask. I'm guessing it was the right arm. I want to know, was it seeping? Because that's when I would have been like, Doug, I don't think we can do this anymore. I have to see someone else.
Well, that really depends.
See another server.
How close is the definition of seeping to oozing?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'll be honest, it wasn't either of those, but it was stained gauze.
No, it was stained.
It looked like it needed to be changed. Is all I'm saying. It looked like. Oh. It looked like.
I mean.
Like a mummy. It looked like a mummy.
The healthcare in the fast food industry is not great, so I do understand self-caring having to. But it was discolored.
Yeah, it was discolored.
It was clearly like, Doug, you might need a bandage on top of. Was it all yellow? Was it like old gauze where it was like, you guys need to update your first aid kit yellowed? Or just, I see where the wound is and you should take care of this?
You are an expert on the many stages of gauze age. I just need to let you know.
I have worked, again, in a lot of places like, we have a first aid kit. I'm like, from when? This is metal. And the gauze has been there the whole time.
The gauze looked like at one point, it was fresh gauze.
At one, oh no,
but
Doug.
it did have some marks on it. Poor Doug. I don't know what happened to Doug's arm. I didn't ask.
What? Wow. You have a lot of restraint. I'd have been like,
his left
I need
arm.
to know what happened. I need to know the extent of the damage. I'm going to call my nurse friend. She is a wound care tech. Hold on. I got you, Doug. Let's get you some white gauze because yellow is not a color for gauze, Doug.
Yeah,
that would have been
it's
me.
right there in all the first aid manuals. If your gauze is yellow, you're an unhappy fellow and get new gauze.
Yeah. Not yellow, let it mellow. That's a different rhyme. That's a different rhyme.
Yeah, that's for toilets.
Oh, Doug. All right. What happened? Oh,
It was the left arm. I'm
Doug.
sorry.
It was the left. Well,
yeah, you
that's
were
fine.
wrong. Which comforted me a little bit because I'm just like, okay, more people are righties.
I say,
He's
did Doug
probably going to be carrying
did
the
he
food with the right
hand you
hand.
stuff with the right hand? Did you notice?
That's later.
Oh, okay. That's when you started paying attention. Oh,
So
okay,
Doug
okay.
leaves. He steps out back or into the bathroom so he could change his gauze.
I was like, I hope he went to the bathroom.
Yeah, it's the obvious next part in the story.
Because maybe it's Doug's fault if that shit's yellow if he's stepping into the alley to change his gauze.
Yeah, I didn't stand there. I was like, no, Doug, you can't change your gauze. Please service our food with your oozing arm.
Listen, Doug, I don't have time. I got to get back to Disney World.
Please, I'm trying to get to
Fuck
Disney.
with my vacation,
I can't
Doug.
deal with your injuries, Doug.
I'm sorry
Get
for
me to
your
Disney.
problems, but I got to go to Disney, Doug.
I swear, if the mouse had gauze on his arm, he'd just put on the mouse costume. I mean, it's not a costume
Maybe
for
Doug.
those under 13 who are listening to this.
No, that's Mickey, for
It's
real.
actually
and
him.
he's so happy. They
Oh
are
my God,
not
all
trapped.
the
It is
time.
not against his
It's
will.
not like the costume is made with a smile on its face.
No, it's
Sponsor
real.
us, Disney. So Doug leaves and he comes back with his fresh gauze. I feel like it's important to say that Doug was wearing long sleeves. So it's not like the gauze would have been obvious if he hadn't told me about it.
So Doug hadn't given up on life and was like, fuck this. I'm just going to
I just want people to know.
everything.
Do you want to sign my gauze?
Heart on my sleeve, gauze on my arm.
It's going to be the title of my next album. And so he comes back in after presumably changing his gauze, and the kitchen staff yells at him because I guess they work together. They're pretty good friends. And the kitchen staff yells at him. He's like, "Hey, Doug, how's that arm doing?" So this wasn't just Doug's dilemma. He had shared it with his workplace.
Well, you're close in those environments.
Right.
We care about each other when we work in the kitchens.
And Doug says to the guy, no joke, screaming across half the restaurant, he says to the guy, "Not too good. I think I let it go a little too long."
Oh, God.
I have never heard someone describe a body part as something that they have let go too long.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Did Doug...
I know, so many questions, right?
I want to know what is on the arm.
What's wrong with
right
Doug?
now. I want to know what's on Doug's arm.
I don't know the answer to that, but we can hypothesize. I think it was a burn of some degree. I think he probably got a forearm in the fryer somehow.
I used to work in a kitchen with a guy who had a bandage on his hand and he cooked.
Okay.
And he didn't wear a glove. And I even remember looking back I won't let this
Wait, he
fucker
cooked his hand?
No, I don't even know. We had our ideas of what happened, but he had some sort of an infected wound on his hand. And again, healthcare in this country, it is cringeworthy. And so he just wrapped it up and probably put ointment on it, but he was like, oop, I better go change it because it's seeping. Oh, God, don't touch people's food. It's a seeping hand.
Yeah, seeping hands.
So now, Doug, you can't go around with a seeping wound serving people. I mean, not for even the person's sake. We should all probably expose ourselves to more germs so we could up our immune systems. But Doug, your health is important.
Right. And while I wanted to tell him that, I was very
this.
concerned about our burgers and fries.
This podcast has turned into, Doug, we worry about you.
We do worry about you, Doug. If you're out there listening, Doug, we're going to send you some gauze.
Listen, yeah, and it's going to be white, the color that gauze should be. And I got your A&D ointment, Doug. I got your burn cream, Doug. You know what? I'm going to send Doug a whole slew of kit. Eventually, when I get
that's what I want.
I get my next paycheck. Anyway.
Yeah, that's what I want. The next big holiday, I want a gift basket full of medical supplies.
In case you got to Doug it.
Yeah,
we're gonna call it Doug rigging it, not Jimmy
Doug, we're
rigging.
making you a verb, Doug.
I'm gonna Doug it.
That's a big deal, Doug.
Yeah,
you
Doug.
don't have to work at Steak and Shake anymore. You're a
gonna
verb.
be famous. Woo, Doug.
No, but probably keep that job so you can keep buying gauze.
For now, Doug. I can't tell you how long this is gonna take.
So yeah, Doug's arm went a little too long.
Oh,
he did have gauze on it. He did service our food, and we kind of assumed he washed his hands a lot.
Yeah.
And we ate that food. And now I literally cannot mention Steak and Shake. Like, God forbid I even say something that rhymes, like shake and bake. Kristen's just like, no, don't even. I don't want to. Are you going to go on that podcast and tell this story? I'm not listening to it. I can't relive that. And that was probably the grossest and first Steak and Shake experience of my life.
That's the grossest? Oh, you got to go some more Steak and Shakes, bro. Oh, Lord, you haven't hit the Steak and Shake jackpot just yet.
I don't know.
You've only been to one. Oh, my goodness.
How many more chances should I give them? They've already ruined me.
Have you ever had
once.
their cheese fries?
I think we had their regular fries.
Yeah, try the cheese fries. You might get yourself another experience.
Sorry, I got a burn on my arm and I put the cheese all over it, but it's on your fries now.
I just put some cold slice on it, took the temperature down perfectly, wrapped it up in some yellow gauze. Y'all, I'm good.
Little known fact, Velveeta was originally a medical supply.
Like, Doug, your cheese is melting. Yeah. Oh, I think it's time to change it.
You're radiating heat, Doug.
God.
Too much heat. More heat than a person should radiate.
I love kitchens. Okay. I fucking love working in kitchens because the people in a kitchen, like, first of all, we all went through sanitation class, but we all understand how a lot of that shit, it's like, open to interpretation. Like,
I've seen bar rescue.
The temperature can vary. Like that 4-hour window, you could push it 30 more minutes. You know, it's okay. You could heat that tray up 5 more times. It's okay. And people will think it's wonderful. Okay. So everybody out there who goes to eat at restaurants, enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, which restaurants?
In the next week. Every goddamn
You don't
one
want
of
to
them.
just toss them a couple plugs?
Don't do the Michelin 5 stars is probably the only place you're going to walk into the kitchen and be like, this is what I expect from everybody. And it's like, well, that's why not everybody's Michelin 5 star. I tend to think like when people are like, I went to a Michelin 5 star, I'm like, oh, they follow the sanitation process. Because I can't imagine your food's that much better. No offense, but you know.
Yeah, it really depends on your taste buds, right?
If I don't want to die after I eat it, I am not impressed. If I'm not like, this is my last meal, and then run into traffic, you get Michelin 3 from me.
Eat every meal like it's your last meal.
Even if it's from Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
And even if Doug gave it to you on a gauzed arm.
Even if you're listening to this on death row and you're trying to pick your genuine last meal, make sure you treat it like your last meal.
Make sure it's from Steak and Shake and that Doug comes to visit you in prison.
Absolutely.
That would be my...
Yeah. All in all, the food was pretty good.
It's not bad.
It was just tainted by the previous interaction.
Listen, I appreciate Doug's honesty and openness. Like, listen, man, it's just us here, and I feel like I got a connection with you, so I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna be straight with you. I gotta go change my gauze. Yellowed off my arm. Yes, it's being held by the seep. And I'm going to go, I just want to let you know.
The seep as a glue.
Yes.
It's a glue. It's holding it all together.
It's like, well, Doug, don't open the scab again. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Infected wounds. You know, they're pretty on the scale of like not gross to gross. Infected wounds are pretty up there.
I have a wound care tech friend for real, and I won't let her tell me. She's like, can I? No, bitch, don't tell me. No.
Oh, you're terrible. She's probably got a vent.
Oh, she got kids. She can vent to them, and they're weird.
She needs some air, just like that wound did.
I've heard too much. I have heard too many wound care stories. I'm like, no, you can't.
Well, my next stories are not wound care related.
Okay.
Did you want me to get into those?
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
right. So,
especially give me the inside to the life of a high school Catholic boy.
Oh man,
which I feel sad for a lot of times.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I went.
Did you guys have to dodge priests in the hallway? Was that a game where you're like, oh, I missed that one. I missed that one too.
We had 2 sister schools.
Nice.
And 0 butt sex.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, bummer. Good pun. You take that out, Aaron. Take that out. But yeah, all boys Catholic schools are gross in and of themselves. When you get that much men in an establishment,
y'all are nasty. Listen,
we're gross.
I have a teenage boy. I will put them in boarding school. I don't want to deal. I don't want to pull socks apart. I don't want to pull towels apart. I don't have to throw away my good shit because y'all just can't handle yourselves. Like, teenage boys. Anyway, sorry.
I get what you're talking about now. For a second, I thought you were just talking about like, I would hate to have teenage boys. There's so much laundry.
No, it's the type of laundry I'd have to do. Like,
right,
fuck
like
this.
sticky laundry.
Yeah, but then at the same time, be like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, mom. All right, I love you.
It's like a fossil. It's like a fossil of laundry.
Like, what are you trying to keep, bro?
It's like
you
I need
can't
a
use
lot
it again.
of fabric softener.
It's dried. Throw it out.
Yeah, if it holds its shape.
If it holds its shape.
It's gone too long.
Yeah. Mom, will you do my hell no? Just get your laundry to the basement. I ain't touching it.
I'm trying to think of some gross excerpts from high school that aren't exactly the story to like set the scene. In gym class, we all had to like shower after gym class. They were like open showers. Yeah. Not really gross. You just like don't stare at like your friends' butts and stuff like that.
Or you do and you just don't tell them about it.
Yeah. But also like living on Long Island and it being kind of a sheltered environment, you had a lot of people who lived their life a certain way and didn't really know that other people lived their life differently until high school. I remember I had a friend who was sitting in the locker room once and looks up at us and he's just like, anybody else ever realize they have stinky feet and put deodorant on the bottom of their feet? And I went, no. And I don't think anybody does that. And everyone else went, yep, no one does that. And the guy went, oh, no.
And he was ostracized forever.
No, people didn't really ostracize him because he was still a white male. So he kind of fit in the environment.
I mean, y'all are fine. Forever.
But my story relates to a sports team. So if you think like an all-boys Catholic high school is already a very... what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a very specific subsect of an environment. Having a sports team within that environment just kind of like increases the ego of everybody in it.
Because you have to, like, did you have to do tryouts for these teams?
Yeah,
you
there
had
was
to
like
make it on the team.
Make it on the team.
Wow.
Yeah,
see,
like
I came from a small school. If you just said, I'll play, they're like, thank God.
Yeah, no, we had like a big football team. We traveled places. In this case, I'm specifically talking about a rowing team. So we traveled all over. Yeah, of course I am.
Did in Long Island.
If it's not rowing, it's lacrosse,
we had
right?
Lacrosse and rowing and football and we did not touch baseball.
Things on sticks. That's pretty much it. Rowing and lacrosse.
Football was a little too hard. Like, that's for the big boys. That's for those country kids.
Yeah. We did have people who came from like out west on Long Island, which was considered a little more country. God. Yeah, we took people from all over the island.
You are a real diverse culture out
Absolutely. Speaking of diversity, two people who went to my high school, and this is going to give you whiplash, Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, shit.
And the Native American from the Village People.
Nice. Well, was he really Native?
I think that...
Was he?
I think that they looked it up and he was part Sioux.
What? Ooh, okay. All right. Village People. I like this.
Yeah, so pretty diverse culture.
How good, like in line.
Also pretty...
I really grew more respect for those guys.
Yeah, it also made me understand like a lot of other religions because when you get Catholicism shoved down your throat most of the day, no pun intended. When you get Catholicism shoved down your throat most of the day, you start expanding your horizons and looking at other religions that you could be. Like, where are my options? Where do my options lie? I just want to know.
Where can I go from here?
Exactly.
This guy ain't working. I need another one ASAP.
So on the rowing team,
producer,
it was like
did you check out?
Oh,
He's Sioux.
Yeah.
Sioux and Puerto Rican.
Oh, wow.
Village People.
So diverse.
I'm going to clap here a little bit for you. Thank you.
Thanks,
bringing diversity to the front table.
But yeah, so we're all over the spectrum. There's Village People, Bill O'Reilly, and then a whole bunch of white Catholic boys.
Yeah, there's a
right in the middle
spectrum you got going on there. Real wide.
Yeah, real white. So on the rowing team, it was like a cult of personality. You know, you had the people who were just like, we're the cool rowers, and we're here for the sports, and we're here for the fitness. But other people are like, oh, we're here for the popularity and to have something to say that we have done and like sink your passion into.
Right.
But there's a lot of downtime in rowing because you're only rowing for like 5 or 7 minutes when you're racing, and like practices is a lot of carrying the boat down to the water. So people invented other ways to entertain themselves, and they started a game that these two guys, Brian and Kyle, names changed to protect Brian and Kyle.
Are they innocent? Because
you'll find out. Make your own judgment. Form your own opinions, people.
All right, Brian and Kyle, you're on the trial. You're on trial here.
Brian and Kyle on the trial. All right. Oh, man. We got to start a show.
Very judgy, so this is going to be incredibly fun.
Good. You should judge. So they started a game, and it was known as the Puking Game. What do you think the Puking Game is off the bat? I just am curious what you think it might be.
If not involving drinking, my guess would be if you can row hard enough to make yourself puke, you're worth being on the team, bro.
No joke. That's a legitimate thing, but that's not the game.
Damn it. I thought I had 2 gold in 1 pocket.
No, but we would say, when the freshmen would come in, there would always inevitably be a freshman who would do their 2,000 meter test on the rowing machine and work so hard they would puke afterwards.
Yeah.
And everyone would always say, it's not really a correlation reaches causation thing, but we'd always be that person's getting on the team because coach will appreciate that. As long as they didn't do a really shitty job.
Right.
And then puke.
Right.
As long as they you worked hard, you worked so hard, you puked. It's clear that you want to push your limits and you'll probably be good to develop as an athlete.
Yeah.
So it was an actual practical thing. It wasn't we love puke. Yeah. It wasn't like that.
You puke in this bucket. I'm going to puke in this bucket. We mix them together. Oh, all right. I just made myself sick. Okay. That's disgusting.
But the basics of the puking game is that you had to put water in your mouth.
Okay.
Sneak up on one of your teammates, put your chin on their shoulder and dribble water down their shoulder and make a pukey sound. Relatively innocuous.
Yeah.
And so people started doing it. It got picked up as a trend.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And looking back on it, the weirdest thing to pick up as a trend.
Listen, sometimes teenage boys have good ideas.
Yeah.
Sometimes, okay?
It's kind of funny.
That's why I turn to for the gross shit. Guys, I need to gross my friends out. How do I do this?
It is kind of funny how a bunch of guys can be in a room together and all you need to give them is a wad of paper and give them 2 hours and there will be a whole game or a society built around this wad of paper.
That's how that fucking gum wall got
we got to
invented.
toss it to Kyle first because he's the paper master, and then we got to toss it to Timmy over there because he's clearly second in command, and that's just part of the game. We didn't talk about it. They're just the rules that we know are now there.
Motherfuckers in your hierarchies.
So this game kind of developed like that, where other people started getting into it. They started getting more creative with it. And then one day, someone said, I'm going to puke blood on one of our teammates. And everyone went, what? He's like, I'm just kidding. It's going to be red Gatorade. And we're like, oh, okay, that's better. But you still carry the dilemma of potentially ruining someone's clothes.
Yeah.
By puking red Gatorade on them.
Red does not come out.
Brian and Kyle loved
comes out.
the red Gatorade. They loved it. They thought, wow, what a great direction for our game to go in.
Yeah.
But Brian and Kyle, their game was kind of getting away from them. Someone else developed that.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
So that's when nuclear war started because it had
literally? I thought it was back in the day.
It was back in the day. Honestly, I wish this whole situation, I'm going to cover this at the end.
Drop the atom bomb.
Yeah. I wish that this
I'm
had
gonna
caused...
puke an atom bomb on the shoulder. That's a bad idea, bro.
Exactly.
It's a really bad idea.
You can't even fit that in your mouth. You'd have to unhinge your jaw or something.
Well, let's see, guys. Never mind. Okay. I can't unhinge my jaw.
So people started escalating. There was Gatorade. There was Powerade, which I thought was a cop-out because it's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
There was protein powder, mixed and unmixed.
Wait, unmixed?
Yeah, just like the powder.
Just put your powder in the mouth and
Yeah. Think how LeBron after his games he's like powder. Yeah, it was like that, but out of your mouth and onto somebody.
That's the cinnamon challenge. You have to do that fast, real quick over the shoulder.
Yeah, it didn't seem that pleasant. And it got to a point where people were punishing themselves to become a part of this game. And Brian and Kyle are still sitting there worried because they're we're not doing, this is getting out of control. This is going crazy.
This. We had no idea.
The commissioners didn't approve.
We didn't want this.
And Brian and Kyle realized they needed to get a handle on their game a little bit better. And so there was some nuclear war going on because Brian and Kyle stopped talking to each other so they can plot how to get each other in this game. And so there was factions of the rowing team and people are just yeah, I got the inside scoop on Kyle. Oh, you got the inside scoop on Brian. And nobody's communicating with each other from the sides. It's legitimate nuclear war. We knew that somebody had an atom bomb in their back pocket, but we didn't know what it was.
I feel there's only one way to come out of this on top.
Oh, yeah.
And I pray to God it's the way that I'm thinking that it comes out on top.
Okay.
There's
Did you want to
one
venture
way.
a guess?
No.
Okay.
I want to hear what happens because if it has to come out the same way.
Okay.
Let's see what they did, Brian and Kyle. I am so invested in your feud. I can't even believe it.
This was during a time, I guess in high school, or at least in my all boys high school, this was a time when people started realizing that chewing tobacco was a thing.
Oh, no, it's going to be worse.
I'm so happy to have exceeded your expectations. So chewing tobacco was a thing. And if you know anything about chewing tobacco.
And I do.
Yeah, probably too much.
I always pray. I went to a redneck high school. I know all about chewing tobacco. And I always said, I was like, I would 100 times rather date someone who smoked cigarettes. And like, I would make out with you after a cigarette. But if you had that shit in your mouth and it, oh God. All right, go ahead.
But it was a sports team. So people had to like protect their lungs.
You can't.
And therefore their mouths don't matter as much.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Jesus.
you know how
bad.
it sounds like but for those who don't, and the under 13-year-olds who don't know how chewing tobacco works,
so bad.
When you chew tobacco, you get a lot of like juice in your mouth.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's not even the gross part. Come on.
No, it is because if you've seen it,
you get a lot of juice. It's like the mixture of saliva.
You call it juice.
And chewing anything's juice if you squeeze it hard enough and liquid comes out.
Yeah. Oh, God. Aaron, leave that in.
So
okay, here we go.
There was a lot of juice, and they would put it in water bottles because you can't keep.
Yes, they did.
You can't keep chewing tobacco with so much juice in your mouth. There's not a lot of room left in your mouth when it's all full of juice.
Why does everyone do it in clear bottles too?
Because that's what we had. We would go on these long bus trips, like to Massachusetts or Philadelphia, to go rowing, and people would chew tobacco in the back of the bus. Were they supposed to?
No, fuck no.
Of course not. They were rebelling.
No, you can't even buy it yet.
Yeah.
You bad children.
I don't even know how they got it. I didn't do it, but they all did that thing like with their fingers where you pack down.
Pack down like, who the fuck's dad do you know?
Yeah, I think I just sprained my wrist, but
It's been a while since you did the pack down.
All for the story. I wasn't one of these people. I'm like an outside observer. I honestly dodged the whole puking game, but it was so surreal to watch.
I want to drink this before you tell me.
So Brian decides that he is going to chew some tobacco.
No. Brian.
Put some of that tobacco juice in his mouth and puke it on Kyle. Which is a whole new level. On the bus
such
of
a
all
bastard,
places.
Brian.
He couldn't change his clothes. You're on the bus with like 80 other people. I don't know how many people fit on a bus, but
oh God,
there was a lot. The bus was full, and he pukes this on Kyle.
Oh God,
I need to clarify. Yeah, I forgot to mention this before, but there was a new rule established in the game before this, and the rule was that people had been getting too bold with puking on people. They would just walk up to people's face and just spit water all over them.
Oh, that's not puking. Yeah,
exactly.
You guys,
it's not. There's a sneak aspect to it. So they said if you get,
you're not even trying to play this game right.
Yeah, if you have something in your mouth and you're about to puke on somebody and they lock eyes with you, you have to swallow what's in your mouth.
No.
That was the rule that was established. To keep. This was like the nuclear treaty that happened.
I like the nuclear.
Like, I wish that this all happened while we were studying the Cold War, because it's a really good example
the KGB
of why we haven't blown each other up.
Yeah. Oh.
The story's not over.
No, he didn't.
The story's not over. Kyle needs to respond. He needs to respond. He's just had dip spit puked on his shoulder.
God.
In what is essentially like the gladiator arena of the sports team.
That's the end of a friendship.
On the bus.
Or they got married. I don't know which one happened.
Crazy enough, both.
Yay.
They stopped being friends and started being lovers.
That's a beautiful thing.
No, I wish it ended that way. I really do.
Yeah.
So the way Kyle responded was like nothing we had ever. Oh my God, it's hard to even say it. But I want to give like some background. So these bus trips were like, could be like 3+ hours long sometimes.
Oh God. How far in did he get this shit puked on him?
Long trip. I'd say hour and a half.
Oh.
There was some time left.
No.
In the trip. Yeah, poor Kyle.
Oh, Kyle.
But Kyle has to respond. And during one of our rest stops, he gathered his compatriots and they planned. And there was word going around that Kyle was going to respond when we got back on the bus. And so what Kyle did was he had acquired a water bottle, as many of these things start, and used it to relieve himself.
Oh, no. Ooh, Kyle.
And then, right?
Kyle.
Right?
Wait a minute.
Yup.
No. No, he didn't.
Yeah. So,
why?
yup.
Kyle.
So he put it in his mouth.
Oh, Kyle, you were my favorite. Oh, my God.
And he puked it on Brian. But the best part, I think, is Brian's response, which was, "What is this?" And Kyle goes, "It's piss. I puked piss on you." And Brian goes, "Whose piss is it?" And Kyle goes, "That's my piss. I pissed in a bottle and I puked it on you."
God, Kyle.
And Brian just comes back. He's just like, "This is gross, but I'm pretty sure you lost."
Yeah, you put Kyle. Come on, Kyle.
Kyle lost a lot of respect that day.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Kyle.
Kyle, listen, bro.
It was a lot to handle.
Honestly, I'd prefer the tobacco juice. No, I'd prefer the piss. I would prefer someone puke piss on me than
can we queue up a bottle of
tobacco
piss?
juice. Because I'm going to stare your ass in the face and make you swallow it. That's not fun to do.
Yeah.
I would be locking eyes with every motherfucker on that team every day. Like, hi, bitch.
It did get to that point where it's like, have you seen the new guy, like Crazy Eyes? No. There's
no.
This movie called The New Guy.
Yeah.
And in it, like, he goes to jail. And someone, his like celly is just like, "You got to give him the crazy eyes so they know that you mean business around here."
Oh, yeah.
So it was like that
like Rob
every day on
Schneider or
rowing
some shit?
practice.
I
don't think it was Rob Schneider.
He's weird. That's why it's not.
Yeah, fair enough. Rob Schneider's weird. He could pop into any weird role.
Yeah.
You just kind of assume he's there.
He hasn't given me a reason to be like, yay. So
but yeah, for like weeks at crew practice, people would just like lock eyes with each other everywhere they turned.
My fear was you were going to say they locked eyes when he had the tobacco juice in his mouth. And I can't even think about that.
That's why I wanted to tell you the rule, because it's a misdirect. People did have to swallow stuff, but it was always innocuous stuff like Gatorade or water.
Dude.
Protein powder sucked to watch.
Tobacco juice.
It's the nastiest stuff, isn't it?
In high school, you would see a bottle on someone's desk and just be like, "Please be Pepsi. Please be Pepsi."
Oh, I'm a Coke guy.
It was never fucking Pepsi. I'm a Coke person too, but I would have preferred it to be Pepsi at that point. Like, it's the only time I'm like, "Please be Pepsi. Please be Pepsi."
Let it be shown. Dip Spit looks closer to Pepsi than it does to Coke.
I don't know if I'm breaking my own rules, but let me tell you a story real quick about my high school class.
I would love to hear your story.
I had a friend who had on his desk a bottle of Mountain Dew, but it was brown, and so the teacher was not that smart. But it was, I mean, if you knew my school, they passed the test.
It's that new dew.
And the girl sitting in front of him turned around and elbowed the bottle, and I'm like, huh, and I'm like, okay, no, and there's just juice all over the floor.
Oh my
And the teacher's like, "Clean up your soda," and I was like, "You are so fucking, you deserve to be at this high school," like, and that's why I went to college early. Anyway, God,
that's
damn,
terrible.
dude.
I always thought about like people who were bold enough to do it in class. Like to me, the bus was like a safe zone because it's like, what are they going to do? Monitor all 80 of us on this bus? They're
at
sitting
my
at the
high
front.
school, they were like, "You showed up. Chew all the tobacco you need to just stay in this
It was
class."
in the handbook. It's just chew a lot of tobacco if it'll keep you in school.
We don't like it, but if it keeps you here, we ain't gonna say nothing.
Exactly.
But you still can't smoke in class.
Increasing education at all costs.
So I'm sorry, I have to look at someone's tobacco juice, but my cigarette butt is a fucking issue. Like,
well, people don't like butts.
oh well,
We could take that out,
they
right?
don't like girls. Keep it in there. I'm just gonna find it. Keep it in.
Subtext.
Oh, God, you boys are
Rough, right?
Y'all are weird.
Yeah. It's not even the worst high school story.
Yes. More. Make me puke.
Oh man,
Or
you're
please
gonna.
don't. But yes.
She's just like a glutton for punishment, but at the same
That's
time,
what's weird because I have a super fucking weak constitution. I have a mom who's an RN and a sister who's a phlebotomist, and I had they would just go. So one day I took a needle and I'm like, I'm out of the room, and I couldn't handle it. So it's like I wanted to do this show because I'm like, I am so fucking weak that I want to see how much I can take. How much can I hear before I go, you know what? You tell the story. I'm going to leave the room. I can't handle this anymore.
Do you ever worry? Do you ever worry that one point someone's going to come in with a Doug-esque story and you're just going to be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
And then the show will be over.
But I'm really good at my job and I'm an amazing host, so I can fucking spin shit like nothing else. So I'm like, I'm worried, but not really because I'm really good. Not to toot my own horn. That wasn't even me talking. That was my friend. Here I come. Oh, thank you so much. That was sweet. Anyway.
Wow, where'd they go? They went away really fast. Wow, they just
That's another podcast.
Skated out of the room.
That's another podcast to talk about.
Oh man.
You don't see anybody else.
Yeah, you kicked I brought a hype man, but you kicked him out as soon as I walked in.
Yeah,
it was weird.
motherfucker.
No, this is private.
Yeah.
He's just standing outside trying to hype me up right now.
Yeah, it's
through the window.
Dylan.
Yeah, it's really
I'm about to push
really
him off the
soundproof in
balcony.
here.
He's driving me nuts.
You keep doing you, Greg. Yeah, you got it. All right.
So you have a worse one? Because tobacco juice is
man.
kind of hard. Listen, again, I'd prefer the piss on my shoulder. Also kind of wish he had to swallow his own piss. Also a teenage boy thing to do. I put piss in my mouth and I spit it on you. Bro, you put piss in your mouth. I don't know how you didn't stop
Exactly. We have no idea how he didn't put it
how
together.
How is this not? You put piss in your own piss in your mouth. I mean, even someone else's is bad, but you were like, yeah, that's a dude thing to do.
That's why surrounding yourself with yes men is really dangerous, because you know that he or somebody else at one point was just like, what if it's piss? And he or somebody else was like, wow, really good idea. That's the next apple of the Puke Game.
Do it.
Yes.
Everyone's standing around him at the bottle. Go.
Or they were really malicious and were like, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
And just knew. They're just like, you lost this war.
You guys are weird. You'll yes men the fuck out of each other, either to fuck with each other or support each other. And y'all don't even care which one it is. And if it's the first one to support, you're like, thanks, bro. And if it's the next one to fuck with, you're like, good one. So guys literally cannot fuck with each other hard enough to hate each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so weird. I like it. I don't know. I think
we
that's
spend
why
a lot of time not thinking about consequences.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes. Yeah. For sure.
And another tale in the same vein of not thinking about consequences.
Yay.
It takes place on the same bus. On the exact same bus that this happened. This
rowing team was something.
I am pretty sure after I graduated, this bus was retired. Not necessarily related, but we just sat there and we were just like, it makes sense. For whatever reason, it makes sense. So this is a two-parter. And the first part happens and I was not present. So I'm going to take not a lot of time with that one, but the second part will be the killer.
Okay.
So part one is that everyone was on the bus headed to Massachusetts, I think, for a big race. And we go to a rest stop and they say, everybody off the bus, go use the bathroom, empty out your bladders. I think my coach specifically said that. He had a very specific way of talking where everything was a command. He would say, sitting, standing, going, using the potty, use the potty. And that's
I hope he had kids.
Oh, he had kids. We visited one Halloween and he had his kid tell us, he's like, Mikey, tell them they're off the team. And Mikey goes, you're off the team.
Oh,
we're like,
God.
thanks, Mikey.
Oh, God.
We were still on the team.
Asshole. What a
so
coach.
we get to this rest stop and these two guys, let's go with Kevin and Billy.
All right.
So Kevin says to Billy, because he's sitting on the inside, he says, hey, Billy, I got to go to the bathroom. Will you let me out? And Billy goes, yeah, I just want to sleep. So I'm just going to stay on the bus. And Kevin goes, great. So Kevin gets off the bus and goes to the bathroom and starts walking back to the bus. At this point, there was another one of our teammates in the bathroom who starts telling our other teammates that he found a pair of poop-covered underwear in the toilet of the rest stop. And we very quickly figured out that it was that person because people had saw him exit. Kevin, right? Yeah, Kevin was the one who went to the bathroom.
Oh,
and so Kevin starts walking back to the bus. At this point, the story's going to jump a little bit to the perspective of people who are still on the bus.
Okay.
So now we're on the bus.
Flip it.
Yeah. And the people on the bus notice a smell that is coming from on the bus. And Billy notices a sensation that is not common. And Billy realizes that Kevin had pooped himself while on the bus.
Oh, no.
And because of the way bus seats, I don't know if it had to do with the texture or that it was like on a flat surface, but it went up his back and onto the seat and also like dripped down onto the lower seat.
Oh, no.
And what Billy had done while Kevin was gone was lie down in the seat.
Oh, no. Billy. God.
Billy lied down in the seat, and that was the sensation he felt.
Oh, God. Kevin really shit himself, huh?
Yeah.
God
He's full of shit, that guy. Yeah, and so he went to the bathroom, he tried to clean up, he tried to play it like nothing happened, came back, and he's just like, hey, how's it going? And everyone's like, there's 2 more hours in this bus trip.
Was it cloth seats?
No, they were that typical like bus. How do you describe like bus seat texture? It's almost like elephant skin. It's got a lot of cracks in it.
Okay.
Vinyl.
Vinyl.
Oh, it's the vinyl?
Yeah.
Oh, no, so this was like a yellow school bus.
Yeah, yellow school bus. We're not talking like coach bus.
Y'all from Long Island, I'm thinking like coach bus, like we got the cushy seats.
Yeah, you assumed way too much about my privilege.
Oh, excuse me. Let me take it down a notch.
Pardon you. We traveled on yellow school buses.
Even worse, because within the vinyl lies sponge, right?
Yeah. So I had to think back to like I was really young and I saw vinyl seats like peeled away.
Yeah, and it's
kids
spongy,
just destroy stuff.
And oh God, Billy. Oh.
Yeah, so it was bad. They cleaned up the bus. We continued on the trip. I think Kevin like got by without a lot of repercussions.
Yeah.
But he was known as the Poopy Bandit.
Yeah.
For a couple years.
As you boys are tend to do.
Yeah, for about 2 years, I would say.
Actually, teenagers do that
almost
shit.
Exactly 2 years.
Oh my God.
Now, this next story takes place 2 years later. Just
please tell me Kevin shit on Billy. He was just like, first I made
Billy
you lay
responded,
in it.
and he started playing the puking game, and he puked his shit on. No, that didn't happen. Oh man,
tried to puke on him, locked eyes, had to swallow it. It was real. That's the nightmare.
Hard to swallow. It's like the 6 saltine challenge, except with poop. So,
yuck.
This next story is titled "The Poopy Bandit Part 2." And it's when Kevin lost his title.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So after a while, that shit hurts. You're like, I dealt with it. I was cool with it. I'm owning this persona, and now
that's really all you could do in that environment. Is just like, well, that's me now, and if it doesn't bother me, then other people won't bring it up. That we still brought it up.
Oh,
we still brought it up all the time.
Absolutely. Hell yeah, Poopy Bandit.
So this next story, I will let you know that people get less poop on them.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to just let you know that no one's going to be covered in poop.
Damn.
Sorry.
That's okay. I was so excited.
So we're on this bus trip.
God.
We are on this bus trip. I think we were going to Philadelphia. It's about a 2.5 hour trip from Long Island. And about an hour into it, I think we were in Springfield, New Jersey.
Okay.
And we start smelling something awful.
It could be New Jersey.
It could have been New Jersey.
Be New Jersey.
In fact, I'm pretty sure a lot of people said that.
Never been to New Jersey. Could have been New Jersey.
It's probably
I've heard
just
enough
New
about
Jersey.
it. Yeah, it's probably just Jersey.
Yeah,
there's
I don't
a
know.
Body. There's there's syringes and bodies everywhere. And
yeah, I don't know what smells more in Jersey, like the land or the people.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, I'm going to bring that on my debate show. Actually,
you should.
Yeah.
Which is worse, Jersey the state or Jersey people?
A lot of people on Jersey Shore were from Long Island.
Why does that not surprise me?
Because Long Island is the New Jersey of New York.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, which one's different? They're not.
Exactly. It's all about like tanning and hair.
Oh, you're from Long Island or New Jersey? Both.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
Pretty much the same thing.
The same.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were connected. Like back in Pangea, Long Island and New Jersey were connected. So about an hour into this trip, we all start smelling something. We had the windows down too. And we were very quick to yell, "It's the Poopy Bandit!" because we had already known about this, about like Kevin and Billy's dilemma. And so we're like, "It's the Poopy Bandit. They're back. It smells like shit." But then it started smelling like burnt rubber.
Oh.
Yeah. And somebody from the back of the bus came up with like a conspiracy theory, and they said, "Okay, I know what happened. Somebody shit themselves, and then they prayed, and God is ruining one of the tires on the bus to guard them from people finding out that they have pooped."
As you know, the logic of a Catholic.
At that moment, one of our wheels went out.
No
on the
way.
bus. Yup.
Oh, shit.
It was a pretty big bus. They had 2 sets of wheels like on the back, so we were still good.
Still.
But we're like, oh, that's what smells like burning rubber.
Yeah.
And so we pull into a parking lot in Springfield, New Jersey, and everybody gets off the bus, and we're just like standing there like, oh my God, we thought it was the Poopy Bandit, but it was just burnt rubber. And then one guy on the team decides to like get back on the bus. He wanted to like get something from his bag. And so he went back on the bus and he got something from his bag, and he said, we hear him scream from inside the bus, "There's still somebody on the bus." We're like, what? And one of our teammates was still on the bus having recently pooped himself.
Oh no.
And he was like,
buddy.
Yeah, but he tried to be more tactful about it because he knew about the Poopy Bandit. So what he had done was he had tried to tactfully, while his seatmate was sleeping, poop in a McDonald's bag and then throw it out the window of the bus on the highway.
Oh no.
So it was somewhere, but he had apparently missed the bag to a degree.
Okay, how do you discreetly shit in a McDonald's? You have to like, first of all, your pants have to come down. Like you don't have a hole back there in your pants, or I mean, maybe you did, but you have to like scooch to the edge.
Yeah,
and like, that's not doing a goddamn thing discreet about shitting in a bag. Y'all slept hard.
If it wasn't so gross, it might have been impressive.
That might have slept very hard to not notice that his seatmate was shitting in a McDonald's. I mean, that's a full bathroom trip.
Yeah, I guess the short answer to your question of how you would do it is with accuracy.
I mean,
which he did not have.
No.
Like, I mean, in rowing, we don't even look where we're going. So
you just got
accuracy probably was not one of his strong suits.
He didn't have a guide.
Like, I joined the team specifically because I have terrible vision, and I'm just like, I don't want to have to look at things while I'm doing a sport.
Yes.
That'll be better for me.
He didn't have anyone to go scoot on the edge of your seat. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, you're over the back. Good job. Shit.
Yeah, maybe if he had a coach.
Yeah.
Maybe if he had a coach there helping him.
If he had a good shit coach, he would have been fine.
Yeah, so that guy gets off the bus. The first guy who outed the other one.
Oh, God.
And starts, the guy who got outed is just like running to the bathroom yelling, "Sorry!" and we're all just standing there in a group like, well, it's the Poopy Bandit part 2.
Oh,
They're
my
back.
God.
They were resurrected.
How did he get shit on the bus?
Yeah, there was shit on the floor of the bus. That's like, so after the burning rubber smell started dissipating, it started smelling like shit again.
Oh, no.
And we went back to the Nostradamus of the bus who had predicted all of this happening. We're just like, how did you know? He's like, I just had a feeling. And it's crazy because I think about it, like, if he had gotten all of it in the bag, I guess nobody noticed him throwing it out the window. It was like,
what the
this
fuck
was a
kind
late
of
trip.
oblivion?
This was a late trip. And like a lot of people were asleep.
Like at night?
Yeah, it was nighttime. It must have been like 11 p.m. or something, because a lot of us were held back for like doing like a band concert or something for our parents.
Okay.
So we had to go to the race late.
Okay. And also, clearly, the McDonald's caused it because he had a McDonald's back.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, in one end, out the other. Here we go.
Little known fact, McDonald's bags are great receptacles for the
look at all the grease they can hold before they tear. You could get a whole bunch of meals and like, oh God, this bag was brown and now it's like this weird clear color, but it's still holding together very nicely.
Yeah, it's a good meal when you can see what's in the bag.
the poor car, if there was one behind you all.
Oh my
when he
gosh.
threw the shit bag out.
Yeah, I don't think it hit a car, but
No?
also somebody who had just thrown a bag of poop out the window, if I asked them, did you hit a car? They'd probably say, oh, no way. I'm sure I didn't.
No, but then the car behind's like, God, that must be a
My
bus
windshield
full.
wipers are not made for this.
That was definitely a bus of rowers. I know this shit anyway.
I could smell them.
Fucking teenage
I could
boys.
smell the lake.
Ah.
God, could you
I can't believe he didn't
imagine?
get on the windows. That's some good aim. Did he play football?
No, he was a rower and a swimmer.
That's some good arm strength.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes sense because
Swimming
you
is-
have to have a good chuck to be like, this was not me. Like
Yeah.
the evidence.
Also, windows don't open that much.
I mean,
Bus windows don't open that
no,
much.
they really don't. You can't get them even down the whole way.
Yeah. Yeah. They always told me it's so you can't stick your head out.
Was he on
but
the inside or the outside?
He was on the nearest the window.
Damn.
Truly.
He's a real poopy bandit because if not for the slight streak left behind, it sounds like that's impressive.
Yeah.
I have never shat myself. I have never had to shit anywhere odd and unusual because I know my limits. I have not good aim. I have incredible butthole fortitude. I have developed throughout the years.
How do you practice that?
Have a form of somewhat IBS and knowing that at any point in time that fart could not be a fart and you're like, I ain't letting this shit out. Literally, I have so many friends who are like, how have you not shit yourself? Because I'm the one with the gut issues. I'm like, because I do not need any more things to be weird about me. I can't shit myself, man.
Yeah.
I was never the cool kid. I can't let that go. That has to be my one thing that I've just not done. I've never pissed myself and I've never shit myself.
It's like you're never. Well, I'm sure you did when you were a baby.
Well, when I was a child.
Come on.
The last
You're
time.
not infallible.
The last time
you
I
shit yourself.
I remember the last time I pissed the bed. I remember the exact time the last time I pissed the bed was I had this dream and I think I was 10 or 11. And I had a dream that I was going to the bathroom and I was like, but okay, this was the weird part. It was like my brain was trying to give me the signals bitch, get the fuck up. But I was just like, this is so nice. I had to climb a ladder to get to the toilet. It was stories high. And I was like,
in the dream.
In the dream.
For a second, I thought you just lived in a very oddly laid out apartment.
My parents were weird. You know that place in Wisconsin with all the weird shit inside? Yeah, that was my parents' house.
You mean all of Wisconsin?
The whole of Wisconsin. We own Wisconsin. It's weird. I am so wealthy.
You should have gone to my high school.
I know, right? I was like, let's move to Long Island. They're like, we own Wisconsin. That's stupid. I'm like, no, you're right. It's like New Jersey. No, I literally, in my dream, I had to climb up this super high ladder and just dangle on this toilet. And I was like, this is the most relieving. And then I woke up like, God damn it.
Oh, no.
And that was the last time I pissed the bed.
Oh,
the very
gosh.
last time. Because my brain, I don't know what kind of defense mechanism my brain has to go we're not doing this again ever. And body's like, okay, we promise. You will clench that butthole tight. You will walk with dignity. And that's what it is.
Keep your pride. Keep your pride in your butthole.
It's tighten the cheeks, keep your pride, shoulders back, walk straight. You don't look like you have anything up your ass. Not at all. You totally look confident and so into it. Yeah.
That's a good point. Most people are walking around with something up their ass.
Yeah. You can't it helps walking. I'm tightening my butt as I'm thinking about it. So I'm kind of lifting up there. But
I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah. You just, I don't know. It's just a thing. Cause I've had so many instances the stomach cramp thing. I literally have almost passed out just because my stomach hurts so bad, but it's just the same fortitude. We're going to push through this shit. Did you ever watch the movie? Is it Lawless? I think it is. The one with Tom Hardy. Okay. So it's a prohibition movie. It's really cool. Spoiler alert. Yes, I'm going to talk about it. I'm sorry if you haven't. You should see it.
So
but
if you haven't seen Lawless or read The Great Gatsby, don't listen.
Listen to this,
Even
and
though
we'll
we're
tell
telling
you
you
all about
towards
it.
the-
And you don't have to waste your time. I'll just tell you how it is.
Yep.
Lawless was excellent, and Tom Hardy's character reminds me of my guts a little bit, in that you just can't keep them down. He gets his throat slit, and the motherfucker comes back. He doesn't die. He just stitch it up. I'll go get these sons of bitches, and he does, and that's my asshole. I was like, no. We are not letting this go.
Do you call your asshole Tom Hardy?
I do. Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Thank you.
More people should
He
name their
does too.
assholes. Tom Hardy's asshole
Tom
is
Hardy
named
sent
Tom
me
Hardy.
a letter. And
Tom
he's
Hardy
like,
Jr.?
I am so honored. And I'm like, thank you, Tom.
And then he sued you for
And then
copyright
he was
infringement.
like, by the way, my lawyer will be contacting you. I was like, oh, that's sad.
He's like, you can't slander me. Don't call me an asshole. No, literally, Tom.
Literally, Tom.
Literally, Tom, you're my asshole.
Name is
It's like
Tom
more
Hardy.
of a term of endearment.
It was probably
Tom.
before I knew you. Like, it wasn't. It was after Lawless.
It is.
Oh my God. All right. So, damn, we got a lot of shit in this podcast. Oh my God. And shit seems to be the theme, which I'm liking. So I don't care. Fuck it. If you got a good shit story, if you have, okay, let me throw this out there to you guys. And I'm going to say it in the intro too, but let me go ahead and throw this out there to remind you. If you think you have a truly cringeworthy story, send it to us. Let us hear it. And if we think it's cringeworthy as well, we'll send you a bottle of Malort.
Oh, dang.
On the house.
That's
shipping
an
and handling
awesome
paid for.
deal.
Seriously.
If you want free Malort.
If you want free Malort, send us your cringeworthy, disgusting ass story. And if we think it's worth it, we're going to send you a bottle of Malort.
It's honestly a
there
really
you go.
great business model on your guys' part.
Right?
Because
And
like,
Malort,
a lot of them might
hear
just send in
us.
stories and be like, you know what? Keep the Malort.
Oh, after we send it to you, you might not like us very much, but hey, fuck it. You get a free bottle of Malort.
Yeah.
And it's Chicago specific. So, hey, and this could be anywhere. So send us your fucking stories.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, in tradition, the second time.
Well, you got to keep it up somehow.
You gotta keep tradition. We do a palate cleanser at the end of the episode because we made you suffer through the Malort. The listeners have suffered through these stories. And if you want to join us, fine. We're going to take a palate cleanser shot. Today, we have Old Overholt straight rye whiskey. I don't know what it is about me and rye whiskey, but I really like rye whiskey.
I don't know. When you said palate cleanser, I was thinking like a sorbet.
Fuck no.
You know, I use like pickled ginger as a
God.
palate cleanser. But, you know, rye whiskey works.
Yeah, rye whiskey's good.
Does it say anything like special on the bottle? Like, do they promote themselves or talk about their history?
A weird old man on it.
Oh, that's good.
I wouldn't have trusted him back in the day. I would have trusted him for his whiskey, but not for much else. He looks like the guy that producer Aaron needs a little shot.
I woke up an hour ago.
Oh yeah, that's
It
true.
is hard producing.
He napped. That blew my mind. I was like, I woke up at like 9:30. Like, let's do this.
I woke up this morning
Ready
at
to drink.
4 a.m. And then went back to sleep at like 7 until like
God.
11.
Yeah. So Old Overholt has been made since 1810.
1810?
So you know it's good. You know it'll cure all that ails you.
Wow.
Bad forever.
Must have been an expensive bottle. It sounds pretty old.
This was an entire $20.
What?
Actually, it was $17.99. I
those
don't
taxes,
listen.
though.
I don't scrimp on this podcast. Okay, all
I can tell.
for everybody. All right, guys, here we go. Let's palate cleanse. Thank you.
Oh, I held it in my mouth a little too long.
Like a straight shot of whiskey at 2:17 in the afternoon.
Oh, it's 2:17 already?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's really not that. Yeah, no. I don't have to hold my nose to like drink this shit, but I do have to chase it with some water. So let me take a sip. Thank you for waiting.
No problem.
Dylan, thank you so much. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for sharing your shit stories with us and just how bad we thought teenage boys were. Just like we were right the whole time.
I am genuinely hoping a little bit that Brian and Kyle hear the story so they know from the outsider's perspective.
Let me tell you something, Kyle. Let me tell you something. That tobacco juice, he had you. I don't even know why you were like, let me drink my piss. Like, why didn't you just go a little further? Just eat your own shit and throw it out. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, you
tobacco
could have
juice?
done that.
He had you. That is disgusting.
Yeah, Kyle. If you still feel some type of way about Brian, just go ahead and eat shit.
Yeah, eat shit and throw it up on him.
Oh, yeah, that
At
second part too.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, that second part. Don't lock eyes though. That's going to be a tragic story.
Don't lock. Pluck out your eyeballs.
Story.
Fill your mouth full of shit.
All right,
and then I'm Brian.
Dylan, where can we find you?
Yeah, so the podcast is called Implodium. We are working on a website. It is grossly underdeveloped right now. If you went to it, you would just feel like you're at a construction site.
Like it was 1994.
We do have a Twitter where we are constantly accepting any suggestions of debates. Just a couple of examples of ones we've done already. How many holes can your underwear have in it before you have to throw those underwear out? Do you put toothpaste on your toothbrush before or after you wet it? And of course, the eponymous
after.
is a hot dog a sandwich.
No, it's not.
Yeah, form your own opinions, people.
I went ahead and figured that one out for you guys. You can scrap that episode. You can just do the other ones.
Well, shit. Thanks. Our Twitter is @MD_debate. You can find us there and submit anything you want. The website will be posted there and all other information once we get all that shit together.
Cool.
I feel like I'm saying shit because we were talking about shit.
I know, right? It's like subliminally like, do I say this all the time or now am I saying it all the time?
Yeah. Also, if you're a performer in any capacity and you want to just like be on the show and promote yourself, we would totally argue stuff into the ground with you.
Oh yeah.
Just hit
I'm
me
going to
up.
do it.
Oh yeah.
I just made sure now that
you're
going
to
to
be on.
Absolutely.
What do you want to schedule for?
Soon.
All right,
very
we
soon.
got you.
Probably next week. Probably the week after. I don't know. We're there in the next couple weeks.
You're on the calendar for all of those dates.
Absolutely.
All right, but yeah.
And then do you have a Facebook? Do you guys have a Facebook or anything set up? Or
we don't have a Facebook
do you promote
yet.
anything on your own Facebook that people should watch for?
On Facebook, I am sometimes promoting my improv group, the Napa Valley Hooligans. We perform a little inconsistently.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not from Napa Valley and we're not really hooligans, but it's a catchy name, right?
It is. That's one thing with improv. You know how like the improv comedy scene has this like battle, but I do appreciate improv names. Y'all are very creative.
I always thought it was more of a teamwork. It's good to know that it's a battle.
It should be.
Because I'll start fighting.
Fuck yeah. Maybe it's just because I like fights and I'm like, ooh, it's battle. But I'm like, y'all, can't we just get along?
Oh, you're going to do great on Implodium.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, because you get assigned a side. You don't get to pick how many holes in the underwear. Well, in the underwear one, there were 3 people debating and you got to pick sides to it. I settled on 6.
Yeah. It depends on if it's a date set of underwear or is it like a regular set of underwear. Like if I'm wearing it to meet a lady, it ain't having holes.
I was very focused on the gauge of the holes.
If I'm going to work, fuck it. Few ain't bad.
Yeah, right?
You know.
As long as the placement
it's
too.
Aeration. It, makes things flow, it gets it. And you guys have balls. I'm sure you went to get the sweaty smell out. Like it's really, it really is for your benefit.
We do cover mesh underwear as well, if you were curious.
Is that a thing?
I mean, I would assume that mesh underwear is a thing. And that's just very holy underwear. Yeah. Like wear that to church.
Yeah. I wear this on Sundays.
Yeah, take that one out.
I need to get God everywhere. Let's see. So we have our own. This is so bad. It's at CringePod. Okay, on Twitter, we are at CringePod. On Facebook, I am working on the Facebook page, but it will be the Cringeworthy Podcast. And we do have an Instagram coming out, and it will be at I guess you Insta at CringePod as well. And then I'm Kaleena Ote. You can find me on Facebook, Kaleena Ote. It's really that easy. At Americalena on Twitter. And at TaterTats82 on Instagram. I do tattoos sometimes, mostly on myself.
Name Tater Tats.
Yeah.
She's covered in potato tattoos, just so you know.
It's like I do. I have a giant plate of tater tots covered in ketchup, one with barbecue sauce and another honey mustard, the 3 primary sauces for tater tots.
We got French fries on the right arm, scalloped potatoes on the forehead.
That's right. We are currently recording in Jazz Fuzz Studios. Check them the fuck out. Yes. Aaron, the producer, is excellent. He has given us an amazing avenue to get our voices out there. He is super fucking supportive of local comics, local artists, whatever you got, man. If you have an idea, hit him up. Look at Jazz Fuzz Studios on Google. Just Google it. It's literally the only Jazz Fuzz Studios. One word. Jazz Fuzz and then Studios are different. No. Aaron got the lock. Aaron knew what he was doing. He was like, no.
You think that some like furry music collective made a Jazz Fuzz at one point?
But instead they went with like Animal Collective and Panda Bear and blah, blah. They were not creative at all. Aaron was like Jazz Fuzz and
that's it.
He stole it. So check it out. Look him up. Like that's why we're doing what we do. So excellent. Dylan, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for sharing your shit stories and reminding us why we should always be super supportive of parents with teenage sons because holy fuck, you guys are difficult.
Definitely help them out. They're in a rough spot.
For real. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time on Cringeworthy. Bye-bye.
Bye.